What's happening, everybody? This is Big Temp with the Cavecast. That's Big Mike. We have come to you. This is 2025. It's a new year, new things popping in the cave. We want to talk about a couple of things that we think that people need to be, made aware of that we've been talking about, but maybe not as much. So one of the big topics that has been happening, maybe is not talked about as much, is the recent break-ins to people's, or should I say, athletes or stars' homes. One of the things that kind of got pushed to the side, nobody really knew about, was when the break-ins happened to Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' homes apiece. But what's really interesting is basically that nobody's really talked about any of this stuff. We kind of wondered, is there a reason why nobody's talking about this? Is there a recent investigation that maybe they have some information that they are trying to keep under wraps? Maybe there's a sting going on. Who knows? Mike, we talked about this earlier today, and you said you think maybe because it is an ongoing investigation is the reason why there's probably not been a lot of talk.
Oh yeah, that's got to be what it is. Or like I was saying before, it could just be Mahomes and Kelce didn't want that kind of information out. You know what I'm saying? It could be a number of things. So
With the recent break-in of Joe Burrow, or the theft, I don't know if you want to call it a theft, but it had something to do with a vehicle. Is that correct?
it was when it says Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow's home was broken into during the Cincinnati's win over the Cowboys, whenever that was.
Okay, a couple weeks back.
Yeah, so
That's ridiculous. So you had the
it says the
idea.
home. It says the home was ransacked, and they weren't immediately able to determine the things that were stolen. It says a person who was employed by Burrow arrived at the Anderson Township Monday night to a shattered bedroom window and the home in disarray. So
But
that's the person that called them.
here's what I want to know, though. With these people living in these massive homes, and they're in well-to-do areas, and they have to be gated communities more than likely. How are these people getting in?
Maybe.
But how are these people getting in? And why wouldn't you have security around this whole building? If you
Yeah,
make
they
that
they
kind of
better than
money,
me. Yeah, they better than me because like if I had a crib like that, bro, I'm having like top notch security.
well,
I'm
I'm
having
talking.
dogs.
Yeah,
I'm having all that. You gonna see a couple Connie Corsos and some pit bulls running around. You know what I'm saying? You
something.
might even see my gun shell.
Well,
Just to let you know.
the thing about it that worries me is, with an athlete like that is because of the situation that happened with Sean Taylor. And we talked about this because it was a break-in and it was home. That kind of scares me with, those type of situations.
There was even some. It says there was some like in November with the NBA with Bobby Portis and Michael Conley
I
too.
heard about that too. I heard about Bobby Portis's break-in too. So yeah, these things kind of worry me, and it almost. So here was the scenario that you had kind of ran down to me. You said, what if it's somebody that's working at these stadiums that is actually giving this information away? That's letting these
I mean,
people
it could
know.
be.
You know,
You just never know these days, man.
you
You
don't.
really don't.
You have no idea. And that's what's kind of scary about that is because you don't know when or if you're the next, hit, right? If you're the next house, the next break-in, right? So I'm kind of hoping that these superstar athletes do take precaution. Like I said, I don't want anything like that bad to happen to somebody because they just happen to be home at that time. I hope anybody that is, in that situation has the right protection or can call if need be, to make sure they get the authorities there on time. Like I said, I remember what happened with Sean Taylor, and that was sad because I thought Sean Taylor was phenomenal as an athlete. I loved watching him play. So, but yeah, we wanted to talk about that and, just kind of figure, okay, hey, look, has anybody else heard anything about this? Is there any kind of information out there that can say or whether give any kind of information as far as who has been, has there been anybody that's been arrested? Has there been, any witnesses that seen anything? That's what's funny about this is that you would think that those places would have people around. I know if I'm somebody walking through a neighborhood and I don't belong there sometimes, I've been the victim of, hey, what are you doing
That's
here?
the thing, though. Yeah, that's the thing, though. I know Mahomes, like his house for sure is not like in a gated community or anything. It's like by itself.
It is, but at the same time, you don't think he
Like
has a
there's
gate around
nobody.
it? Some kind of
No,
protection?
that he probably does. But like as far as like people seeing it, yeah, I don't. I think he's like, you know how like people build because he had his house built
Yeah, I know.
like completely brand new, set up how he wanted. He ain't there ain't nothing else around there except for that house, as far as I know, in the pictures I've seen.
Yeah.
So
Well,
and it's
that's the
big
thing.
too.
Those houses when when they're getting built and stuff, they got brand new appliances and shit like that. And if that's the case, you need to have some kind of way to lock that place or protect it, because that's what they do now. These thieves that will go in and they'll start going in and stealing the stoves or the appliances. Hell, I seen one, and I'm not playing. I seen one where there was new houses being built in this area, and they had went in and put in all the copper piping and copper electrical lines and stuff like that. Do you know that these people went in and stole all the copper wiring out the houses, brand new houses? They weren't even finished yet.
That stuff is worth money.
I get it, but damn.
No, I get no. I'm just saying, like you just leave that out. I mean,
It ain't out. It was in the walls. They went in and tore it out the fucking walls. The walls were already built.
yeah, that's crazy.
They went in and stole all the copper wiring out the walls, man. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful with this, especially these athletes with these kind of homes. Man, that just kind of worries me when I hear stuff like that, because I wouldn't want somebody to be at home and something bad like that with happening. Somebody breaks into their house and, a scuffle ensues or some shit like that. So,
Man, I ain't gonna lie, like they better than me. And look, I don't know what they're doing as far in terms of security, but man, I have me John Wick out there here in the place.
you would think that they would. You would think that they
I
would.
mean, you probably not thinking about. I mean, I don't know. I would be. I'd be like, look, I need
Look,
the baddest former U.S. Marshal or something. I need him, and then I need Jason Statham to come on over
oh
here
my
and
God,
just
Jason
secure the crib,
Statham.
man. You know what I'm saying? Like, like,
Oh,
come on, man. And
oh,
then
that's
bring
funny.
some dog. I'm gonna have me some. I'm already had a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
come on,
saying. You
man.
would think that they would have some big badass perimeter, protection, like to keep people off
That's
the
the first
ground.
thing I'm getting. He gonna be canine trained. Oh yeah. My homies has dogs though.
I know he does,
That
but
I
I
do
don't. I
know.
don't know if they're the kind of dogs, because
I don't know.
you know
I
how
know he
some
has a
people,
big dog, but it's not like canine trained or nothing like that.
when people have dogs, a lot of times they want them for as a pet, as a friend. They treat them a certain
Still be
way.
that?
Yeah, I don't know. I grew up a different way where we had pets, and my pops always told me, hey, the dog is not your friend. He's here to do one thing and one thing only.
I'm done.
He's here to maul somebody. So
Man.
if he come in his house, he's done
I mean,
for.
some dogs do it naturally, and then some dogs you gotta kind of,
I get it.
train them to be that way. So
Well, that was one part of
hopefully
the
they got it
reason.
under control though.
That was one part of the reason I asked, is because I'm like, man, this is. I don't, the end of the football season is going to be coming around, right? But crime never stops. It doesn't matter what time of the season it is, right? But since there's been an uptick in these athlete homes being broken into, just kind of thinking to myself, man, I hope nobody's
I
at
think it's
home.
more, especially for Mahomes. Like I think it's more important for him because, like, Brittany's
He got
pregnant.
kids, yeah, and she's
She
pregnant.
ain't she ain't been at the that she ain't really been at the games really. She been
Yes,
at the crib.
yeah, I know. That's kind of,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and
Because
and
she ain't been out. She ain't been to a game in a minute now to
but
think about it. Like, it's
but
been a little while.
you know what, and maybe this is just short sighted of me, But here's a Kansas City legend, right? And you're in Kansas City, a guy who's brought you championships to a team that was never really, viable. Nobody ever thought about really. He's bringing championship, and you want to go break into this man's house
People don't care
and steal
about
some
this
shit.
Especially the criminals. They don't care about that shit.
Criminals are terrible, terrible.
Very,
Always trying to fuck up some shit.
Then they'll be like, man, I didn't know that was Mahomes' house. Nigga, then why'd you go to that house?
There ain't no other house around here.
Right, exactly. Come on, man.
You knew there was somebody's house that had some money.
This is Patrick Mahomes we talking about. You stay in Kansas City, you don't know that was his crib.
Everybody knew it. They know it. Now I don't know if everybody knows where he stays at. I hope not, but still.
I hope not. I hope not.
Anyway,
like I said, Mahomes, you get you some pit bulls, German shepherds. I don't know.
He needs
a Tibetan Mastiff.
Something.
That's what I have.
A cattle prod.
I might get a tiger. You never know.